Hello everyone, Magomas here, and welcome back to my channel. Now, as you can see, we are doing another Let's Play. This time, well, if you're clicking on this, you know this. It is What Remains of Edith Finch. Now, I know I have played this before. I didn't want to post it because of the fact that at a certain part of the game, I found out that a song that's older than anybody on Earth is DMCA. Yeah, well, makes it muted. So when I get to that part, I will tell you this is the part that uh, you will not hear me speaking or anything coming from it. Okay, so if I can, I will post in the description below what the song is, and you can listen to that song while you watch me play it, or you can just skip over that part, and I will uh, put the time code in the description. And as you can see, oh, you can't actually. Now you can. So I'm not so good news. Brooke will not be on for a while, or at least a week or more. Oh, sorry to hear that, Angel. Hope Brooke will be feeling better. And yeah, I will be posting this to YouTube. So yeah, they'll be able to watch it when I post this onto YouTube. I might because of the fact that I actually just posted my. Well, actually, I like to do it in order, so it'll probably be February or March. Well, probably late February by the time this comes up on my YouTube channel. But yeah, I want to get this done as quickly as possible. So let's get this going. Okay, there. All right, now here's the thing. I actually have to start it up direct from the uh, thing here because the game starts literally right away. So I'm going to do a quick stream marker for those of you that are watching on YouTube. So BRB, guys. Okay, and this is going to be a 100% achievement playthrough because there's only 9 uh, achievements, and I know exactly which one to do. So this will be a fairly quick thing here.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning with the
Oh.
house. I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
And Angel, I coming up soon. I will be needing to choose.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
I am going to need to choose which way to
I
go.
haven't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
And I want you to choose which.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
I'm going to need to choose which way to go. Do you want me to go left or right?
Maybe
Yeah.
she thought I'd know. Or she thought the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
So this is the part. Do you want me to go left or right? Left. Okay. It doesn't matter because I have to go to the right for the next one to get the final achievement.
The truth
But
is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
this isn't creepy at all, is it? Ah, there it is. I was looking for this bridge.
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent. As if they're about to say something, but never do.
Oh, and Angel, have you ever seen this game before, or no?
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Okay, so you've seen bits and pieces of it, but not the full thing? Yeah.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Okay, cool. So the good news is that I will beat this fairly quickly. Like,
I hoped the key
maybe.
might unlock the front door. It didn't.
Like, I've beat this few times now. So I think about 5 or 6 times now. So yeah, I know pretty much everything about this.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Okay. Oh, and for those of you wondering why I'm looking over this way, it has been almost a year since I've uh, played through this, so I've got the uh, trophies. Not trophies. That was when I played it on the PS4. The achievements for the game, because even though there is only 9, there's a lot to remember. Oh, and my G Fuel flavor of the night is candy corn. Mm. It's not as sickly sweet as real candy corn. Okay. Yeah, I don't have to worry about. Oh, okay, so a closer look will be one of the bigger ones. I have to look
For the
through.
first time in years,
I have to look through all
I
of
felt
the
like I was
people.
home. But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
And yes, oh, Lewis. I remember Lewis. Strawberry shortcake is good. I really like it. Have you tried it with milk or a milk alternative?
The table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
Next time you get it, try it with milk. My personal favorite kind of milk to have with it is almond milk. It is so good. But be sure to have it with unsweetened almond milk. And don't get the vanilla almond milk, just get the regular almond milk.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
That was it. Okay, R1 is the way to get those ones done.
After Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got pretty sick of salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
Yeah, same. When I work at Starbucks, I whenever I get a drink
Nothing in
that
the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
I would always have
The fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house after it sank.
foreshadowing. But yeah, whenever I get a drink from Starbucks that requires milk, I always get the almond milk, no matter what.
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit. Great Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Okay. Oh, over here. I have to.
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
Oh yeah, mocha, latte, flat. Well, not real. I don't usually get it with the flat white because it is so good with the whole milk. Let's see what else.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Ooh, bugs.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't
In
died in
1947. So this is one of the achievements is to look in all the peepholes and telescopes long enough to hear Edith's commentary. Machines would have almond milk flavored. I can pretty much guarantee that they probably would because of the
I
fact.
spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up. Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him. Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Not yet. I have to go to this one.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Barbara. That one is, oh boy.
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house.
The next time I have a overnight layover in the USA, I need a late night coffee. Be sure to check that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure, like pretty much every coffee shop that I've ever been to always has almond milk, no matter what. It was like before the whole craze of people who are.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it. Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Ooh, that's the creepiest story there.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Gregory. Oh.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
And Rainier. Oh, so this is somewhere in Seattle. 11.
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
No, he did not share a room with a dead sibling. Okay, so that's all of the peepholes in on this floor. So now we're going in here. Oh boy. Yeah, there's bits and pieces that
Maybe it sounds like I had a plan. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. But I had no idea what was behind that door.
Oh, look who it is.
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead. I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
Well, here it is.
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Wow. Oh, this is a great way to start the game. You'll see.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
You ready to go on a trip now, Angel?
I kept eating and eating. I ate a lot of things that night. Then I heard chirping outside my window. I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me. The babies were all gone. I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
I'm trying to remember. Uh, Trying to remember. How am I? There.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit.
Hang on. I'm going to change to my old one. I'll have to come back and get it.
It was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark. I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Ah, there it is.
Grabbed on tight. When I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet. also, I didn't.
I know what you're thinking, Angel. Why am I letting him sing? This is one of the achievements. There. Achievement unlocked. Let him finish. And it looks like I need to do my stuff here. 8 units. Okay, let's see if we can do it. And thank you for coming on. Hope you're having a great evening or a great day. So I am going back to Edith Finch as soon as we're finished with this. If that's why you came on. Oh, I've got one new item in my inventory. Cool. I'm doing good. Looks like we didn't win. Oh well. But at least I killed 2 melee units. Yeah, no problem. I'll just... Let's see. So now 5 assists from healing. So that means I need to... I think... So, flag bearer. Oh wait, no. That's not it. Healer, I guess, then. Yep. Bugoid healer. Ah, there you. Okay, now. So as you can see, I've got all of these different things here.
passenger. I was still hungry. And across the water,
What?
I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Oh, there it is. Oh, shoot. If you're squeamish, you might want to look away from this part.
I got closer and closer.
Looking familiar, Angel? Okay, so basically, um, you see on the top there, Edith. Basically, this is chronicling her family from the very beginning to Edith. And you're at this house that you've inherited. But that's
My
all.
stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
And that is how Molly Finch died.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Now, I didn't get the first achievement, which is called Great Owl. Basically, I have to catch 2 rabbits with only 2 swoops. So what that means, when this game is over, I can come back and do that one again. Yep. All of these, this is how
This became
literally.
obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
And
I
this
spent
is.
a lot of time in Great Grandma Edie's room.
So yeah, this is how everybody in the house has, well, part of the Finch family has, died.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
Let's see, what is it called? With America, the Finch Photo Award, Conspiracy Now.
Edith Jr. for a long, long time. Lewis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Her room was like a museum.
56, 57.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house. Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Oh boy. Let's see.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
It is a walking simulator. Oof. But it's still a lot of fun. Oh.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom.
Oh,
There's a
and
secret in
that
this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
nice. So just so you know, this part right here has been sealed, so there was no way to get out of it. So that's why I didn't go to that.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Her mom, Edith, Edith's mom, after your brother died, don't worry, you will be able to see that one too. She sealed up all of the rooms. Except for one.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin, and that he never talked about him.
As you can see, 1968. So, yeah. Fort Calvin. Nice. Don't worry. I'm not going to go through it yet because there is another thing over this way. I just wanted to get it over and done with.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
I'm going to turn that off now. So he was, Calvin was 10 or 11 when he died. And this is like chronicling
How I
Calvin.
Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did.
And he did.
At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
He did.
Sam, Calvin, dinner's ready.
Coming! But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible.
Oh, jeez.
Maybe if I hadn't said that.
One guess.
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt
I
it.
doubt it.
I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
This is the quickest one.
And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Oh. Yeah, that's better.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
So, what are you guys thinking so far?
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Hey, look. New way through. Okay, let's do this. Barbara.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
This one? Oh, just wait till you see this one. Ooh. Oh, a Penny Dreadful comic.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Oh, for those of you who don't know what a Penny Dreadful comic is, it's basically um like quick comics of like quick horror comics billed as like true, but obviously none of them were true, except maybe this one.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent. She found
Oh,
the
look,
music
blood.
box and imagined the worst.
Oh, and if you're wondering why I'm beating up on the table, you'll find out why soon. Clear the table. Yeah, didn't think that, right?
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Oh, of course.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh!
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges grow. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Wait a minute. He was there before, wasn't he?
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was... At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear.
Yeah. And that is how Barbara supposedly died.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending. I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Hang on, though. I want to just double check and see if I can.
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
Hang on, guys. I shall BRB. Okay. Oh, looks like I've got Dream Raiders again. So let's go do that. And hopefully this time I will be able to do it. Oh, Sonic! Okay, I'll do it just as soon as this is finished. Okay, so Sonic 1-Up has just redeemed some of their magic points for me to do my monologue. Okay, let's do this. Hang on. Voila! In view, a humble vaudevillian veteran, cast vicariously as both victim and villain by the vicissitudes of fate. This visage, no mere veneer of vanity, is a vestige of the vox populi, now vacant, vanished. However, this valorous visitation of a bygone vexation stands vivified, and is vowed to vanquish these venal and virulent vermin vanguarding vice and vouchsafing the vinely vicious and voracious violation of volition. The only verdict is vengeance. A vendetta, held as a votive, not in vain, but the value and veracity of such shall one day vindicate the vigilant and the virtuous. Verily, this vicious wads of verbiage veers most verbose, so let me simply add that it's my very good honor to meet you, and you may call me V. And thank you for redeeming some of your magic points for me to do the V for Vendetta monologue. And thank you, Sonic. And oh, Red, hey, thank you for the raid of 8. And thank you, Sonic, for doing that.
Son of a bitch!
Perfect timing too.
Oh, crap.
Dude, Tyler.
Perfect clip. I literally just finished one of yeah, that you just saw me do my one of my rewards. It's to do with the V for Vendetta monologue. Help my ears, yeah. And yet you still play DBD as a victim or survivor. I can't. You know, that is true, Emily. Well, that's true. So, as you can see, I'm on here right now. But let me just get this over with. Oh, hey, Frost. Esoto, and I do not want to butcher that name. Thank you. Red, yeah. I'm at over 500 followers now. I cannot believe it. And I am not going to try and butcher that name because I have no idea what that name is. But congratulations. Thanks, Red. See you. Let's see what we've got here. So I need to do this one again. But let me just see if... Oh, right. I have to refresh this. Frost, yeah. A couple nights ago, actually, now. But thank you for everyone that has joined me tonight. And also thank you, Red, for the raid. Now, for those of you who are joining me for the very first time, my name is Magromancer. I am a variety streamer, and I'm also a furry, a brony, a magician, and a barista. I hate to read and run, but I have an appointment tomorrow super early, so I gotta head to bed. Have a good stream, though. Super excited to see the growth. Thanks, Red. And yeah, definitely get some rest. I'm working tomorrow, even though I'm not supposed to, but I wasn't scheduled for like 2 weeks. This is true. Make you a coffee? Okay, yeah, coffee is made. Try and jump into one of your streams soon. Have fun tonight and good luck at work. Thank you. But yeah, I am Macromancer, variety streamer, furry, brony, magician, barista, and as of right now, as you can see, I am on StreamYarders. But let me just check what the new stuff here is. Is there any? So that's 5. Buster. Definitely Buster. Okay, now we are going to go and do an unknown challenge level battle. I cannot do the healer again for another 20 minutes, so... Actually, I'm going to go here. Yeah, that'll be better. Okay, so now we are going to go back to what remains of Edith Finch. Now, so far we have blocked out this, but as you can see, we have done Molly, Barbara, and Kevin's stories, and also Borg. It's not really a story, but it's close. So, yeah. There. For now, we'll just go here. And let's get back to the game because I want to beat this tonight. And I am going for the 100% trophy. Oh, hey, look. There's the pool table. And the infamous table saw.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot. I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
Right.
I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
He wasn't.
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that. I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
Yep.
If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Okay. Let us see where. Oh, there it is. Walter, 1952 to 2005.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane.
Yeah, 30 years.
Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow.
Looked at.
But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
There.
Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly.
January 76.
And then one day, everything just...
March 2005.
Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
Okay.
I know it's out there somewhere.
Oh boy.
Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food.
Well, if you've been
Don't worry
eating,
if I don't have beer left.
if you've been eating canned peaches for the past 30 years, yeah, I would hope that you're gonna enjoy food again, right?
For a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
So you can see why I was on trying to stay on that side.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here. I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me. Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
Probably.
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Oh, there it is. Perfect. Yay.
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of.
Pretty sad history, don't you guys
To be
think?
honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Like literally everybody that's part of the Finch family has died in some weird way.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible. I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Yeah, that's true.
It It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Oh, great. Hmm.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
There's Molly. Calvin. Okay, so yeah, he was 11. And 51. Oh, wait, no, 49. 80 lasted the longest. Walter.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
I think this... Oh, wait, no.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Well, obviously, considering that that's their old house.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Gregory Finch, born January 12th, 1976, died December 19th, 1977. Oof, so young, right? Sam. One of them. One of the one of the achievements is tied with his. Gus was 13. Is Gus even in? Oh yeah, there. Hmm.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone.
Oh boy.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. but looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
I think, yep. I would.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were
Okay.
both pretty intense. Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something. Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Okay.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm? What? Am I gonna have to...
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit.
Where's that rabbit? Ah, there it is. This is one of the achievements down below here.
Please just take the damn picture.
Hey, language.
What the?
Did you want to get a picture of me or what?
Smile, Dawn. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
Aw. You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee. Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa's Fen taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. I bet if I could remember where that trail was.
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad,
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Focus on. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Great shot, Dawn! I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
so...
normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about
Dad!
Yep.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me. After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Okay, guys. For those of you that are watching right now, you won't get this, but for those of you that are watching on YouTube, this is the story where there's the music, the song that will be playing once you cannot hear me, or any music, is Tchaikovsky's Waltz of the Flowers, I believe. I'll put on... I'll put Shazam on, see if I'm right. I'm pretty sure it is.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Oh, yep. Waltz of the Flowers. It's the Nutcracker Suite.
That's hangover, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
There.
I wonder what he saw.
Achievement unlocked. Gregory. You have to get all of the letters from his name into the bathtub.
It reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was, he saw. It sure made him happy. slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw. There's so much I don't understand about Gregory, about everything.
Yep.
But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Hang on, let me just make sure.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom were the words that
I now pronounce you husband and wife. Make him cry.
Ah, there it is.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined and as a sign held up his middle finger. The wind picked up and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder." I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Yep.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Only a couple more. But now we got two. Okay, let's hope I can get 4 more assists. So far, nothing. I said 4 assists, not 4 kills. Come on. Get with the program here. Oh, wait. I forgot. Okay. Open Captain Chest. We've got 1 reward for 1 winner. Let's see who is going to get it. Coach Ouch, congratulations on getting this reward. Okay, now let me just check here. Do we have anything here? I need... Oh, jeez. I'm 1 coin away. Big surprise there, right, guys? I think I'm going to go for this one. I want the easier of the two. Although it doesn't really matter. Okay. Perfect. 30 minutes on the clock. And let us get back into this.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Masakomi, thank you for placing that Epic Hauser TV Epic War Beast on the battlefield.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
Salazar. What's that name? Oh.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
So,
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. And to see kids in the house again.
okay.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. past. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
I think.
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings. I think Edie was happy to finally have another painter in the family.
Okay, nothing over here. No, back in. The magic
Milton
paintbrush.
Finch in The Magic Paintbrush. I was 4 when Milton disappeared. Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Milton. It wasn't.
Whatever
Lewis.
Mom didn't want it getting out. Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room, until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Okay, I think that this might be.
Everyone always told me to stay
Yes.
out of Lewis's room.
So, as you can see down below, a closer look achievement unlocked. That is looking all peoples and telescopes long enough to hear Edith's commentary. So, perfect. The only one I need. Okay, so I've got let him finish. Clear the table. Gregory. Thought I got that wildlife photographer. Tell you what, guys, hang on. For those of you watching on YouTube, I'm just going to quickly check and see if I do have it. So, BRB, guys. But it turns out that wildlife photographer is not on Steam. which is kind of weird. But, well, there you go. So, that must be for, like, the Xbox and the PS4 version. So, the reason it didn't pop up for me is because that one is only in the PS4 and the Xbox version. So, if you're watching this and you've never played this game, just do what I did, where I took that photograph of the rabbit in Sam's story, and you'll get it.
Except Lewis.
There. This is actually one of my favorite Annapurna games. Like, I've played a fair
Lewis's
number of...
room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Yeah, give you guys one guess.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Ooh, talking about psychedelic, right?
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
This
He
is...
went to the city he named Lewis Topia.
This is the hardest part about it because
Built the city up
I'm
slowly, brick by brick.
doing two things at once.
and songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor, and he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis, until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a
Guys, what do you think? Should I go for a beautiful prince or a handsome queen? Okay.
beautiful prince. The prince was on his own quest for...
I think I've... Radiant rainbows, I guess.
Radiant rainbows. He followed the sound of his...
Electric sitar.
electric sitar. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him. We began to forget the world we know.
You can probably guess what's
Nothing
happening.
pained him to remember
What's
Lewis,
happened?
the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting him. His prince waited, holding his crown.
Yep. You can probably guess who the prince is.
Bend down his head. And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him. On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Well, here we are. Hey, Angel and Ads. You guys still here?
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance, or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I
Yep.
never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. For a while, I wandered.
Okay.
I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine!
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't.
Finding serendipity.
And then I was alone.
Elven abomination. That is an interesting.
The last Finch left alive.
Mm-hmm.
Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
Mm-hmm.
This is where your story begins.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Joy by Giant Sparrow. Shirley Dallas, 1948 to 2013. And that is the end of What Remains of Edith Finch. Now, there is actually an achievement that's tied in with this. The end of everything. That's one of them. But there is another one. That is coming up soon. Oh. Like I said, this is a pretty short game. Now, I did say that I am going for the 100% trophy or achievement. And I will go for it as soon as the credits roll. Perfect. Thanks, Johan. Basically, I have to see Johan's name in the end credit. There. Hang on, though. Hang on. I will BRB. Okay, so I am now going to replay Molly's story because that's the first one that needs to be done.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
I kept eating and eating. I ate a lot of things that night. Then I heard chirping outside my window. I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me. I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up.
There.
And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
Yes. Okay, got the first one.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit.
Got it. Great owl.
She was almost too big to carry. I started
I have-
choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
Okay, so the great owl, if you don't already know what it is, or forgot, I had to catch 2 rabbits with only 2 swoops. So I got that. I got the let him finish. Clear the table. Gregory, Johann, Calvin. I need to replay Calvin's story again.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin, and that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't.
And he wasn't.
I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
I think.
Dinner's ready. Coming.
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
He did. If it didn't already.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Okay, there it is. Loop de loop de loop. So basically, what you have to do for that one, if you don't already know, you have to play Calvin's story twice. Now, there is only one more that we have to do, and then I will get every achievement. Let me just double check. Okay, so everything ends. We got that. We got a closer look. That was the peepholes and telescope. Or telescope. We don't have that one yet, but we will soon. Catch 2 rabbits with only 2 swoops. That was a great owl. Let him finish. We got that. We got clear the table. We got Gregory. We got thanks Johann. We got loop de loop de loop. We can't get wildlife photographer through Steam because it's only on the PS4 and the Xbox version. So now we just need to get all roads. So the way I'm not sure if this is going to go to the very end. Nope. Okay, perfect.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
So, this one is the final
I
achievement.
lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms. Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Okay.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
So, we went to the left the first time, but this time we're going to the right. And look below here, below me, and you will see the final achievement for Steam.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Achievement unlocked. All roads. So. Ooh, a deer. That's definitely foreshadowing something. Now that we know it, right?
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Okay. Well, that is the end. And that is the 100% achievement run. Now, actually, I will... Might as well. Let's get this done. And perfect. I've got the thing here, so sweet. Eeyore and Dior. That is a cool name. Perfect. Victory. I got the 5 assists from healing. Okay, so we've got 2 rewards for 2 winners. No idea. And L, the Elven Abomination. Congratulations. What am I getting? 10 Rogue Scrolls. Nice. I wonder if I can get this. Use that one again. Who knows? So, let's see. What do we have? Okay, we wanted Barbarian Scroll. Now, the question is, am I able to... No. Okay, so that means this one. Okay, so for those of you that are watching this on YouTube, that is the end of What Remains of Edith Finch. Now, I am sorry if you do not hear any music or talking when I'm doing Gregory's story right here, I am sorry, but I will leave a time code for when that happens for you guys, so that if you want, you can skip his story. But the achievement tied with Gregory's story is Gregory. You basically have to knock all the block letters off of the bathtub into the water, and you'll get the achievement. So, yeah. That's what I was saying, just in case you guys can't hear me talking or hear any music. So, yeah. But I will see you guys later, for those of you that are watching this on YouTube. And yeah, I am now going over to play Donut County. Now, since I've already posted that onto YouTube, I am not going to be posting it again because, what's the point? So, I will see you guys later. And as of this recording, this Let's Play, I just made part 4 of Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition onto my channel, which is the last one. So the next one is going to be Ori and the Will o' the Wisp, part 1 of, well, by the time this comes up, you'll already know. So, I'll see you guys later. And don't forget, everyone, stay possum.